Oh, good morning, good morning, good morning. I want to welcome you to the Fireproof Leadership Summit. Thank you for taking some of your time to be in this, what I hope will be more of a think tank than necessarily your typical model of a summit. Am so excited at who we have sharing their time with us for this next 3 days. These are people who lead in various different professions and walks of life, and they have a lot to share about what it means to be a fireproof leader. And it may surprise you because I want to make sure by the end of this summit, we're all really clear, especially at this time when things have gotten very complicated around the world, how we use the attribute of being fireproof and how we recognize it. Because most of the leaders I know who are fireproof have been through so many experiences where that is what was shaping them, and they may not have recognized it until something else really hugely impactful happened to them and it changed the course of their life. And I find for many leaders, that experience is some kind of experience of walking through a ring of fire. And it refines you and it does wonderful things, but you have to survive it. So, this is going to be very, in a sense, casual because I want people to feel they have a chance to explore some things they maybe never have thought about before. And to do that, we need to be in a safe environment. So I will say that these recordings will be available as a VIP upgrade, but I want to caution everyone to be um, wise about what you choose to share because things are being recorded. And just to give you that little moment, not to censor yourself, but to give you a reminder that you have that option to take care of yourself in that way. Okay, so I want to keep us on track. And so I am going to go ahead and introduce our first speaker. You all know why I'm here. You know that I'm here to share what my fireproof story is. But I want Lewis Moore to speak first. Lewis is here from Haywood, California, and I have known Lewis long enough to know that he is a remarkable human being who brings his wonderful, wonderful gifts of being fireproof, but also his vulnerability, his sensitivity, and his ability to connect with all kinds of people to everything that he does. So, Lewis, I'm passing it over to you, and you just please share your story, and then there'll be a few minutes where we'll get to talk. Are you ready?
Awesome. Thank you, Anaiis. I appreciate you with that kind introduction, knowing that you're a woman that wants excellence. You want to help people change their lives and become fireproof, become a fireproof individual, become resilient of some of the disappointments we might have faced, of the resilience that we might have to be in our lives. But it's nothing more refreshing than to be fireproof. And so if you're listening live, I ask that you pay attention because I want to share something with you I know literally that can change your life. Or if you're listening to recording, it's nothing more resilient than you being able to fireproof yourself. And so I want to start off by asking you a question. And the question is, I want you to raise your electronic hand if you're able to. Raise your electronic hand if you're the type of person that has goals, that has dreams, and you know the importance of fireproofing yourself. Can you raise your hands if you're able to participate? Your electronic hand. Well, thank you. But as you go through life, the unexpected is going to happen. And let me share with you what's going to happen. You're going to get hit. And that's what I want to talk to you this morning about taking hits in life and fireproofing yourself. One thing I know, as you go through life, you're going to experience some hits. You're going to encounter some hits when it comes to your health. You're going to encounter some hits when it comes to your relationships. You're going to encounter some hits when it comes to your finances. You're going to encounter some hits when it comes to your goals and dreams. And the question might be how you deal with the hits. I think about one of my favorite quotes. It's by the one and only Rocky Balboa. And it says, life is not about how hard you can hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep pushing forward. It's about how much you can take and keep pushing forward. And then he says this, and this is what I love. Nothing, I mean, nothing hit you harder in life. And don't we understand that so well? I never forget the day, July 5th, 2003. It was a beautiful day. It was a gorgeous day to go for a ride. And so I decided to go for a ride on my motorcycle. And here I am, just leaving my house. And just 500 feet later, I made a left-hand turn on a two-way street. I was going southbound, another car was coming northbound. And I saw this car start to veer in my lane. And in my mind, I'm starting to have flashbacks because I remember in 2000, a lady ran a stop sign and she hit me. So as I proceeded to ride down the street, I started to overreact. I started to misjudge. And then I veered too close to the curb, and my back tire hit the curb and it made me propel my motorcycle, and I landed on my back in a flower bed. I'm looking up at the sky. I'm saying, Lewis, man, get up. Get up, man. And so everything in my body, I do get up. I even take a step, but then I fall right back down. I was surrounded by good Samaritans, people around to the scene saying, Sir, stay down, stay down. The ambulance has been called. Do you have anyone you can call? I said, yes. Call my older sister, Tracy. And I pointed to my cell phone. Minutes later, the ambulance showed up, put a mask on my mouth, and they put me to sleep. I find myself waking up in the hospital. Beep, beep, beep. My mom in front of the bed. As I open my eyes, she grabs my hand, she strokes my forehead. She says, son, you've been involved in a serious motorcycle accident. I said, yeah, mom, it's going to be okay. I just want to comfort her. And out of nowhere, my younger sister, LaWanda, she says, Lewis, can you move your toes? And I attempted to move my toes. But the family looked at one another with disbelief. Mom by the bedside, holding my hand. I want to reach up. I want to give her a hug, but I couldn't move. Mama said, son, you're going to have surgery. So naturally, I went to the surgery, and the surgery was successful. I find myself back in the room praying, thanking God that I'm still here, thanking God he didn't take my life. Minutes later, the doctor walks in the room and says, Lewis, great news. Your surgery was successful, but I have to be honest with you. Because you breaking your ribs, because you puncturing your spinal cord, he says these words that I never, ever forget. He says, Lewis, you will never walk again.